And bada bing, bada bam. Welcome back to Nando Talk. Here we are. Just got everything a little bit readier, and we're good to rock. How are we doing so far today, everyone? Bangarang, we're back on Nando Talk. I do have a lunch to get to in a bit, but I wanted to hit a quick little stream for Think Ahead Thursday, my new little segment. But we'll see how it rocks, guys. How is everybody doing today? The Dolphins do play the New England Patriots this week 17, and playoffs are on the line, guys. And I know everyone's like, playoffs? Why are you talking playoffs? I know some of us have said that the season is done, but let us remember that there are 2 games left. Our football players are not going to give up. The coaches aren't going to give up. We still have plenty of football left to go. So let's support our players. Let's support our guys. To those of you who have gone to this week 17 game in Foxborough, in Boston, out there on New Year's Day, you guys are some legendary Dolphins fans, and hats off to you. A tip of the cap to you. But to everyone who's just going to support in general, that's all we got to do, man. Yes, Tua is in the concussion protocol. Yes, this team has just come off a brutal, miserable December, but it's about to be January. It's about to be a new year. And I know I'm the one who just harps on positivity and vibes, and that doesn't really translate to anything. It doesn't translate to anything tangible. And I understand that. On the same token, neither does negativity, though. As fans, all we can do is hope and think ahead. And so let's think ahead to this weekend, where with Tua in the concussion protocol, Teddy Bridgewater is poised to be the starting quarterback to lead this team, to lead these Miami Dolphins. Is there concern? Is there fear? Perhaps, there has been a lot to lose confidence in Mike McDaniel. No longer is he Magic Mike, Mystic Mike. There's been a lot of concern with his play calling, how he seems to stray away from the run game, and all this leads to questioning, is he going to develop a solid scheme for Teddy Bridgewater to put him in a position to succeed? I want to believe so. When he was coming into the offseason, the whole talk was that Mike McDaniel puts players in the position to succeed. That's his thing. That was his mantra. That was his vibe. And we've seen a very good system that helps Tua succeed. Now, what we haven't seen is adjustments. We haven't seen those. And it leads to the question, is he going to be able to adjust enough offense to be able to field Teddy Bridgewater? I believe so. I think he can. I think that we're going to have to run the ball a lot, plenty of times, run it down their throats. The New England Patriots do have an interesting defense, and Belichick has done his part. And it's a pretty bad roster overall, but the defense isn't exactly terrible, So Teddy Bridgewater is the veteran. He gives us a little bit higher chance to win now than Skylar Thompson. Whoever was the starter, though, we have to support them no matter what. As Dolphins fans, that's what we have to do. The logo comes first. I wish Tua the best success. I wish him the best health, and I wish him in the future to be able to recover and bounce back. But I'm not here to talk about Tua retirement, Tua concussion, Tua this, Tua that. We know he's in the concussion protocol. We know his health is a concern. But at the end of the day, the doctors and professional medical staff, Tua and his family, they're the only ones who are going to make this decision on his future as a football player. Okay. Nobody's doubting his love for the game. I don't think we can even doubt his talent at this point. It really is an availability concern. But so let's move on from that. Let's focus on the now. And the now of the situation is, yes, we'll root for Teddy or Skylar, but this weekend, it seems like we're rooting for Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm ready for it. I truly do believe that Mr. Teddy Bridgewater can pull us out a win, not only in New England, but if he has to play against the Jets, he can do that as well. If he has to play for the next 2 games while Tua recovers, I genuinely see this as a team that has enough talent to win. This isn't the Dolphins of old. Yes, we have had a collapse similar to most Dolphins seasons that we've come to know, honestly, and it feels like it's the same old Dolphins. But we still have those same talented players. We still have those guys that we were all in love with. Are they in a bit of a slump right now as a team? Sure. But to sit here and say that they're done, that the season is over, that it's 2 divisional games that we can't even pull it out. Come on, guys. We still have Tyreek Hill. We still have Teron Armstead. We still have Christian Wilkins, who's in the midst of one of the best interior defensive lineman seasons in NFL history. Okay, I think he's like 6, maybe a little more tackles shy away of having the most tackles by an interior defensive lineman in the NFL. And that's insanity. Okay. Keep it up, Mr. Wilkins. That's why I made you the thumbnail. Okay. Yes, we've had some of the guys had slumps the entire season, like Xavier Howard. We have seen our secondary take a massive hit. We've seen our pass rush not be as explosive despite getting Bradley Chubb. It had its moments, but the talent is still there. We still have Jaden Phillips. We still have Bradley Chubb. We still have Christian Wilkins. Like, we still have Melvin Ingram, this front four, this front seven, even if you start including more of our outside linebackers. Like, we still have the big boys up front who can generate pressure when needed. It just hasn't happened yet, of course. But Boyer, wake up, my friend. Use the talent at hand at our disposal. I understand a banged up secondary has caused us to shy away, but we've seen that nice Dolphins defense that can rattle and shake an opponent like Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who was rattled up to the second quarter. Second half was a whole different story, but hey, bins up, chins up. Exactly, Colin. That's the vibe we're on, because the Dolphins are not out of this yet. Going into Foxborough, would it have been nice to have Tua? Of course. His record against Belichick and Mac Jones is freaking immaculate. Literally, it's perfect. But the reason why we paid Teddy Bridgewater was precisely for situations like this, precisely to see Teddy come in and say, hey, I'm getting paid almost $7 million. Okay, I get it. He hasn't inspired too much in the moments he has come in. He seemed maybe a little disinterested, but I've got to believe that with a week of actually knowing I'm the starter, playoffs on the line, let me recapture that Teddy magic. The guy, the man he used to be in Minnesota before the injury. The man he showed that he could be again in New Orleans as a competent backup, willing to be ready, on poised, on lock, win games. He went 5-0 and then sat back down for Drew Brees, understanding his role. Teddy, you can go 1-0, 2-0 over the next 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how long we have to play him. Oh my days. All this talk over the offseason of why did we pay this big contract? What was the point? It'll all be worth it. And I don't care what narrative it proves in favor or against of Tua, because the Dolphins come first. I love Tua. I have a Holland, a Howard, a Waddle jersey. That's even a Tannehill jersey. Okay, guys, the logo comes first. We all know that. So Teddy, win games. If Skylar has to come in to make a spark, let him win games. If Cedric Wilson has to sling the rock, if we have to revert to the Wildcat, whatever it may be, McDaniel, work it up, scheme it up, and let us get a win, guys. Like I said, we have the talent on defense, and we've got plenty of talent on offense to be able to support a backup quarterback. All season long, I've had to hear the naysayers and the little detractors say, well, Tua's only succeeded because of how great this system is and how great these weapons are. Well, if that's the case, let it be the case and let it show that Teddy can also succeed, or that, like, let me go out there into Foxborough, run the ball heavily, please. If you're not going to go 50-50, 60-40, at least go 50-50, okay? But let Teddy get it out to Waddle and to Hill. Let the playmakers do their job. Let them take it to the house, and that's all we need to see, man. Oh, this is true. That's why we paid Teddy. Adam E, what's up, legend? Missed you, bud. I missed you too, man. Been way too busy up here. Just dropping by to say hi. I'll catch you tomorrow. Hey, man, if you do see this later, appreciate you for tuning in, Adam E. I do miss you, boss. If you're still coming to the Jets game, DM me on Twitter and we'll figure that out. I know it's been a tough stretch for the Dolphins, guys, but I do have the faith, okay? I do believe that that's why we paid Teddy. Exactly, Colin. Like, Skylar Thompson has every right as a rookie, especially when drafted in the 7th round, to have all the time he needs to develop. He showed that he was a little raw, not ready for the big moment when he was thrust in. That's fine. I'm not cutting bait on him. He was a guy we were told needs time to develop. Let him develop. That's why we have Teddy. That's why we have him ready to rock. It's win now mode. If we had no draft picks, we were totally out of a playoff spot, sure, then you can rock the rook. But right now, we need the savvy veteran. I hate to compare us to the Eagles, when Carson Wentz went down and Nick Foles went down. But the Eagles did it. They lost their MVP caliber quarterback who, there was questions about Carson before that season. He was having a phenomenal year, tears his ACL, and hey, they win a Super Bowl with Big Dick Nick. Now, I'm not saying that's the same situation with Tua and Teddy. Not at all, but there have been moments where a starting quarterback goes down and the backup QB steps up and it's fine. He can right the ship for a while. Thankfully, Tua's not out for the season. I get it. It's a little scary, but we'll let doctors decide that. For now, let's assume that he can come back. Albeit whether it's a couple weeks rest, whatever. when he does come back, as long as Teddy has guided the ship, steered it straight enough that we still have some room to make noise, whether it's securing that playoff spot or whether it's putting us in a week 18 that we have moments to win. Hey, man, I'm all for it. That's why we got Teddy there to rock. You'll hit me up. There we go. I'm still not talking to Beck after the loss. After we clinch, it'll probably open up communications. Hey, man, that was some legendary stuff, Bob, for you to come in our car with Alan and Nate and not go with Miss Becca. Whew. Hey, I would probably do the same if my significant other was a fan of the other team. I couldn't handle that. You're a stronger man than I am. But hey, there we rock, man. How are we feeling though, confidence level wise? Like you know me, my positivity, I'm always here. No matter what, I start to feel down, and the Dolphins are the one thing I can do to repump myself up, no matter how bleak it gets. Realistic, Nando. If we talk to the realist inside my heart, probably over here. Still higher than most, but I understand that this is a scary situation. It can get ugly real quick. We are talking about a rookie head coach and a veteran in Teddy who has not seemed to be the most impressive. Not even going to talk about his little quote saying like, "Oh, that yeah, he's ready to be the starting quarterback," and he talked to his good friends Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, and even they can see it. Oh my God, wow! I don't know how to even break that down, but for all intents and purposes, I do have faith in Teddy Bridgewater to be able to do enough to be able to win the games. When he was out there in New Orleans winning games for the Saints, it's not like he was ripping insane numbers. It was, oh, Teddy's a very good backup quarterback. Maybe he doesn't have the potential to be an elite. No, even going to say elite. He maybe doesn't even have the potential to be an adequate starter long term, but I'm hoping he can recapture some magic to be able to at least 1 to 2 games, Teddy. If I got told that for 1 to 2 moments, that's all I need to prepare for, and I would get $7 million, I would train my ass off. Teddy, that's all I'm asking you to do. Win 1 game. Win against the Patriots. And then we should be good to go as long as the Seahawks beat the Jets. And if not, and if Tua still can't play, then my friend Teddy, I'll need you to get back out there and win 2 games. And that's it. Okay, because I genuinely do believe Tua is going to come back. And for when we close up the show, because I probably got about another 10, 15 minutes left, when we close out the show, I'll talk about what it means to go into the playoffs, that I'm not even afraid of Kansas City, okay, because we got a little Tyreek revenge game maybe there, but we'll talk about that later. It's a little sneak peek, a little bit of a tease. But Teddy, the man, Teddy Two Gloves, I hope you haven't been at Miami Northwestern this week. I hope you've been focusing, practicing. He has seemed to be a little bit confident with the receivers, getting used to them a little bit more in camp and training, which is good in practice. But until I see it in game, I understand why there's that fear, that reservation, that, oh my God, this is the worst case scenario. We went from 8-3 to 8-7. We have seen our starting quarterback go down once again with another scary brain injury, and we don't know what to do. But I'm just not going to. I refuse to allow myself to go down that path of thinking that the season is over just because of these dire straits we find ourselves in. For as a lot of Dolphins fans are comparing to this when Tannehill was balling, then he got hurt, and then Matt Moore went in, and then we floundered in Pittsburgh. Why does it have to be that scenario? Why can't it be like the Eagles scenario with Wentz and Foles? Why can't it even be like the Dolphins when Bob Greasy went down? And then we had the boy Earl freaking carry it around. Oh, I'm getting a call. But why? Why can't Teddy and the Dolphins be like the 72 Dolphins? I get it. It's just the 50th anniversary. We don't have their defense. We don't nearly have what the Dolphins of 72 had, But why can't I dream? Why would we even turn in the towel? Because like I said, it doesn't matter what we believe or not. Honestly, the Dolphins are going to play how they play. They're going to get coached how they coach. We can fit and fat. We can cry and smack around, and I can make up even more words if you'd like, but it doesn't change what's going to happen on the field. So I'm going to hope that what happens on the field is that my guy Teddy Bridgewater gets supported by a strong run game, an opportunistic defense that is going to rattle Mac Jones, is going to throw the Patriots offense off rhythm, and we're going to capitalize on their mistakes, whether it's advantageous field position, whether it's getting turnovers, whether it's forcing them to little punts and just smacking Mac Jones around like a ragdoll. I need to see the pressure come to alleviate some pressure off of Teddy. The strong run game, the quicker concepts, getting Hill and Waddle the ball. I understand that people would get mad when Tua would feed Tyreek. We didn't really feed Tyreek this last week. He had 4 catches. Yeah, he cracked over 100 yards. But I need to see Tyreek eat. Okay, Teddy, if you just keep finding little quick passes to Tyreek, that's all you can get. Take it. Okay. I don't need you to be a hero. I don't need you to be Louisville Teddy. I don't need you to be Minnesota Teddy. I don't need you to be any of these past iterations of yourself. I need you to be the man who's going to win the game for the Dolphins. Take the game plan handed to you. Allow Mike McDaniel to guide you to a victory. Okay, because I still believe in the McGenius. I don't believe that this is Madden Mike. I believe that this is the Mike McDaniel that has not tricked us, has not fooled us, who has had a bit of a tumble. But as a rookie coach, if we make the playoffs, I'll have felt fine cutting you all the slack needed, guys. Yes, I'm a positive dude. I'm not stupid. Okay, if we lose, if we go from 8-3 to 8-9, okay, I'm not stupid. I'm positive, but I know that is terrible. Okay. But until that actually happens, I'm going to keep believing that McDaniel is this coach that we've seen who can light an NFL defense on fire, who can create and craft a good enough scheme to put up numbers. Please, oh please. Just makes the 30 for 30 a better watch after we win the Super Bowl. Honestly, Bob, you look at teams like the Giants, you look at teams like the Bengals, who when they got to the playoffs, nobody thought they could even make any noise, get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl in New York's case. Once you get to the playoffs, your record doesn't matter. It just matters who's better in that moment, that given day, who's locked in, ready to rock and roll, ready to light it up. Which is why, guys, as I start to wrap up the show on this quick stream, if we make it to the playoffs, whoever leads us there, whether it's Teddy, whether it's Tua, whether it's Teddy and then hands it back to Tua, whatever it may be, guys, I'm not afraid of any team. At first, I used to say I'm not afraid of any team except for the Kansas City Chiefs because we played competitive against Buffalo and they're a division rival. Anything can happen. Cincinnati, I think that there is a level of proven amongst our Dolphins players of, oh, we would have got your number that day if we didn't have our starting quarterback go down to a gut-wrenching injury. And there's a little bit of a redemption, a little bit of it's time to right those wrongs if we play Cincinnati. You know, if we play Jacksonville, no fear at all in my heart. Let's go kick Trevor Lawrence's ass. Whoever we play really in that first round, I'm not really afraid. I used to say except for the Chiefs. But now, you know me and my positive brain, my little mind has gone a thinking. No matter who the quarterback is, guys, I genuinely believe that the Miami Dolphins against the Kansas City Chiefs would be one of the greatest games of the year, even if it's in the first round of the playoffs. And you might question why. Okay, despite the questions at quarterback right now for the Dolphins, hopefully it's Tua leading, might be Teddy, but whatever it may be, there is a man, Tyreek Hill, with a massive point to prove against those Chiefs fans who clowned him all year long, who said that Tyreek will never crack 1,000 yards. He's just going to Miami to end his career, focus on the money. If he makes the playoffs as a top receiving leader in the NFL, I know he's not number one right now because he's Justin Jefferson. I still think he's 2, though. But regardless, Tyreek freaking Hill, if he continues to show this dominance in the playoffs, ready against the Kansas City Chiefs, tell me he's not going to want to show them and put up a monster game, toasting people left and right, okay? 200 yards, maybe 2 tutters, an absolutely dominant game changer, and show them you guys didn't want to pay me. You guys wanted to clown me. Well, here I freaking am. Tyreek Hill against the Chiefs would have to carry us on his back and continue to show why at one point Tyreek Hill was also in a strong consideration for the MVP race. Still think he deserves Offensive Player of the Year, but Justin Jefferson is disgusting. So, Tyreek, please do it. Please make it. Please allow us with the grace us with your ungodly speed and carry this offense for the next couple weeks. And yes, into the playoffs. Because while I would want a monstrous performance against the Chiefs, we got to take care against the Patriots and the Jets first. Tyreek, do your thing. Cook them up, tear them up, rip them apart. Okay. Jack Jones in New England, nada. Okay. He's about to get toasted. Sauce Gardner, Tyreek, the clowning that was had, Waddle, the little Waddle celebration thrown in your very own face. I need to see these gentlemen continue to put up yards and then carry that momentum into the playoffs. Okay. The logo comes first. I genuinely believe that whoever is up at quarterback right now for over the next couple of weeks will lead us to at least 2, hopefully 3 straight wins, guys. This is where we turn around for the Dolphins. This is where we get to see where this Dolphins team is at, what they are truly made of. I know that's what December was supposed to be for, but now, sans starting quarterback, the team gets to show what they're made of. Defense, offensive cast, they get to prove their worth. McDaniel gets to prove what he's got in the tank, and that's all I need to see, guys. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode in one of the shortest streams I've ever had, but thank you for tuning in, guys. If you want to see, rewind, the first half of the show is mainly talking about this week 17 Dolphins Patriots matchup, Teddy Bridgewater at starting QB, to his health a little bit, and then going on and looking ahead. And then when I say looking ahead, it's because the second half of this episode has been mainly about talking about playoffs and why I think that we are in fine situation despite taking these massive hits at quarterback, these straight 4 losses. The Dolphins can still make some noise, guys. So thank you for tuning in to Think Ahead Think Ahead Thursday. You guys were probably enjoying Talk It Out Tuesday on Tuesday, but Think Ahead Thursday, the new Thursday segments, Fernando Talk. I've got to solidify times, but for right now, let's just say you'll have new episodes and streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Of course, on Fridays, I'll try to get some more positive, good vibes. But thank you for tuning into the show. It's been a pleasure. If somehow you're still here through my incessant rambling, like, comment, please subscribe. The road to 750 continues. I genuinely do appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. And bada bing, bada bang. I'll see you guys all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get a Dolphins win. I'll break down the Dolphins Patriots game with further injuries, actual reports, and an actual game analysis for tomorrow, at worst case Saturday. But let's aim for Friday. So thanks for tuning in. Actually, no, yeah, Friday, because Saturday's New Year's. So Friday, new episode, Dolphins Patriots breakdown. Let's get it. Thanks for tuning in for the longest outros in history. It's been real Nando Talk. A little fins up, chins up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.